Welcome, everyone. My name is State Representative Justin Fleming. I represent the 105th Legislative District, which is Susquehanna Township, Lower Paxton Township, and Pembroke Borough. I am overjoyed today to be joined by Agriculture Secretary Russell Redding. It is a real pleasure, sir. We'll get it out of the way right in front. I used to work for the Department of Agriculture. I was press secretary in the Rendell administration for a little less than a year and a half. The 2010 Farm Show was Secretary Redding's first, and it was my first as the press secretary, so we go back a long way. It is such an honor and a pleasure to be with you today.
The honor's mine. This table is turned, right? There was a time you'd be out there setting up the interviews, right? And to have you now as a representative, it's an honor.
Well, it's certainly my pleasure, but again, thank you for joining me. We've got a lot to talk about and not a ton of time, so I'm going to start with just your tenure, your presence. You've already been at this a long time. We recently learned that you're going to have another 4 years at least as you join the Shapiro administration. Talk to me about that decision and what went into that.
Yeah, so I feel like you're the luckiest person when your avocation and vocation are the same, right? And I've had the joy of working in agriculture. I farm, I still do all these things that we celebrate here during Farm Show. And then to have that in the public space, right? To work in amazing administrations. Governor-elect Shapiro, had a wonderful conversation with him some time ago and was really inspired, right? For what he sees of the state and the goals and where agriculture fits, right? So being part of that, and if we can, have more people appreciate the food system and appreciate the connections between production and consumption, it means a lot when it comes to policy, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Folks have to believe that preserving prime land is important. Feeding people, irrespective of their zip code, is important.
Yes, sir.
Recognizing diversity is important.
Absolutely.
That's what we're talking about. So, honored to do it.
Well, talk about, if you would, so the Farm Show, to me at least, has bounced back. We've certainly had a tough couple of years with the COVID-19 pandemic. I think the department did an excellent job of pivoting in the heart of the pandemic and making it as safe as possible. It has seemed to roar back. Talk about your perspective in terms of how that has, how the Farm Show has really come back from what we witnessed with COVID-19.
Yeah, I think it's like a lot of things in life. When it's not there, you miss it. You know what you miss, right? So I feel like we picked up where we left off, right? In 2020, we had a wonderful Farm Show, and then the world changed. 21 Farm Show was virtual. Listen, you have to be able to use at least 3 of the 5 senses, right? to call it a farm show.
Yes.
Last year was fine, but it was reserved because we had to message. I'd never messaged about not coming here.
Right.
And last year we said, listen, hit pause, right? A lot of risk, et cetera. And they listened, which is the right thing to do. We're back, right? And you feel it here in the complex. You can see it in the show rings. It's just really a good feeling.
Well, you talked a little bit in your intro about agricultural diversity, and that's one of the things I want to hit on. I know we have WB Saul, but there are producers and growers of all races, ethnicities, backgrounds. Talk about, and I know you touched on this yesterday at Public Officials Day, about the diversity of agriculture in a number of ways. Talk about what you've seen in terms of, agriculture is not a homogenous thing.
No, it's not. And I think part of our challenge is the public has sort of a one-dimensional view of what is ag, right? It's a red barn somewhere in the rural landscape.
Right.
The reality is, that's a piece of it.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, traveling the state the last couple of years, we've done urban ag tours. I've been in cities, large and small, in the deepest parts of the state, where I don't even speak the language, right? But there's a universal language of food. And they are amazing. They're showing me things like they're first generation, they're new Americans. They have been at this a long time, right?
Yeah.
And you see that, and what we want to try to do is capture that. And from a department standpoint, what I'm excited about is the Farm Bill gives us a chance to do that, right? We couldn't invest $1 in urban agriculture prior to the Farm Bill, right? And now we can recognize these wonderful programs. So it's zip code neutral. It's not about acres. It's about blocks, right? It's a beautiful thing.
And growing where you can. I have had this amazing experience myself. My next door neighbors are Nepali. And when they bought the house from the prior owners, the first thing they did was start to construct gardens and wooden pillars in the
Yeah.
backyard
Right.
so they could grow immediately. And it was amazing to witness. We have little flowers and things here and there, but just the fact that they went to that immediately, and that happens all across my district. Quite frankly, we've got a diverse district here in Harrisburg suburbs, and it was a joy to watch and witness. To be
It's
honest,
been amazing. There's been two things that sort of stand out. There's a Nepalese community in Pittsburgh, and there's this hillside area where the community is building, but their pride of that community was their garden.
Yeah.
And they used it as like this the transfer between home and resettlement, right? And then in Philadelphia, in the Asian community, I don't know, there's a 10-block area, probably at least 10 different languages, and what they were doing. So just 2 points, but it's all over the place, right? It's here,
is, yeah.
home.
Yeah.
So getting a chance to represent that, and I think when I look at the farm bill with Governor Wolf and what will continue with Governor Shapiro, I'm excited about that, right? Because it breaks down these walls. It's this universal human experience of eating.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Right? We all have that experience,
Right.
but we often don't think about, well, where did that come from?
Right.
I mean, who did this? Right? And you get a chance to celebrate. So all of that is here. It's around the farm show. We're going to keep doing it in the legislature and
Yeah.
keep working with it. So,
And you've got the
it's-
wonderful people here who operate the farmers market every Tuesday and Friday. So it's
right.
growing and then selling your wares. There's a long-standing tradition of that. One last thing, and then we'll get you out of here. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about sort of the pinch on consumers, especially when it comes to things like milk. I know, the Milk Marketing Board has tried to do a job. This was an issue even when I was still here. So kind of bridging from, what do we do about some of the prices and the issue with production lines and supply chain, and how has that affected agriculture in your view?
Yeah, well, we're not immune from that, right? So it's both the input cost, right? Everything on the front side of producing the milk or the apples or whatever. I mean, you've got those costs, and then you've got a supply chain that's not kind, right? And you've got this sort of disruption continued from COVID that's really turned this food system upside down, right? So there's a lot of pieces inside. It's an inflationary piece. It's a workforce issue for us. It's where do people buy their food? It's completely changed. So a lot of issues tucked inside of that.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of policy we're working on around trying to lessen the burden on consumers and lower those costs. Speaking of milk, I am competing in the celebrity cow milking, which I'm very much looking forward to. I have never done that in my life, so this is going to be a wonderful new experience. Any tips for me?
Yeah, it's all about the cow.
It's okay.
All right? Yeah, I had a cow. There's an Ayrshire. I have been banned from that event, by the way. I've won that a few times, but it's all about the cow. And I always, the most anxious moment, love my team. But when you have to choose the cow breed, I get really nervous, right? Because for certain cows, you just say, give me your milk, please, yeah? And she delivers it.
There you go.
So anyhow, it'll be fun.
Well,
Have a great time
I
with it. It's
appreciate
fun.
that.
Yeah.
Again, Secretary, the pleasure's been all mine. It is so wonderful to share this space with you. I'm so thrilled at your success. I'm so happy you're going to stay on and continue to do what you love. Let's sign you to a lifetime contract if we can.
You're kind. I love saying representative, right? I think it's amazing. It's a great story. Yeah, it's been a beautiful trip of friendship and professional. And when I think about my own journey, it's nice. I love to see people I had a chance to work with over time step in a public service role. You do it well.
And honestly, I learned so much from you about how to be an excellent public servant. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Happy New Year. Happy Farm Show. All the
Thank
best.
you.
Thank you.
Best to you and your family.
Thank you.
That'll wrap it up from the Farm Show. We'll see you next time.